Bugonia movie review. Jeremy Johns is the backdrop, ladies and gentlemen. All right, my movie era continues. I watched another one. Bugonia hit streaming services, and I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Put it on the telly, gave it a watch. Did that rhyme? I don't think it did. Now, I didn't know much coming in, all right? I didn't know really anything coming in. I watched the trailer peripherally back in the day, but really had no idea what to expect. Now, the premise of this movie is simple, ladies and gentlemen. The premise is a couple of chronically online hombres living in a, less than stellar situation. They decide they're going to take their ill will out on a powerful CEO of a gross corporation. All right, something we can all, hey, it is what it is. The American dream, some would say. But then things get a little wonky when you find out that the reason they're kidnapping this high-powered CEO isn't to take down capitalism or isn't for any of that stuff, is because they think she's an alien. Okay, hold on a second. What? Then, next thing you know, you're watching someone get lathered up in antihistamine cream. What's going on here? And then the movie kind of takes off from there. So we're going to watch the review. We're going to talk about it. We're going to react to it.
So Bugonia is directed by Lorgos Lanthimos, stars Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, also Aidan Delbas. These two guys are conspiracy theorists who believe...
Yeah, I mean, that's some of the cream being lathered on Emma Stone's shaven head. Spoiler alert. They shave her head.
That she is an alien on Earth. So they shave her head so she can't contact her mothership, put anti-itch cream all over her, to suppress more of her supposed alien powers. And the demands are simple. They want a meeting with her leader so they can negotiate all the aliens that are on Earth to leave. In the words of the great philosopher, Bane, let the games begin. You now have the power struggle of the two guys going, we just want you to say the right things into...
This happens pretty quick, like you start the movie and like I said, you get into this like anti-capitalist, anti-corporation, save the honeybee situation. It's like, all right, whatever, one of these kind of movies, right? Then they kidnap Emma Stone and then all of a sudden they shave her head and then all of a sudden the cream comes out and then all of a sudden the alien stuff comes out. And we realize we're on a roller coaster. We realize that we're on a different kind of trip, all right? This is not your normal... not your normal flick, okay? Now, I will also say it's not as bleak as it sounds, even though it is very bleak, but it is kind of funny. I think it actually is a comedy, right? But there are some amusing parts. Emma Stone's funny throughout the entire movie, even given her situation of being covered in Benadryl cream or whatever and kidnapped in some guy's basement. But even against those odds, she still finds a way to be kind of funny here. And Jesse Plemons is kind of funny. His character, for being, I guess, the antagonist, I guess the villain, he never really seems like the villain. He kind of seems like this good-hearted guy who just kind of lost his way, and he's trying his best, but trying his best has morphed into kidnapping Emma Stone, and then it just keeps morphing. And you got Don, the character who's kind of the funny sidekick, and when you see all of them on the screen, you almost forget that you're watching a movie that started off with them kidnapping her at her house. And it's just kind of this weird triangular dynamic that up until the very, very end, it's kind of funny to watch. And then at the very end, it gets absolutely insane to watch.
The recording device. And she's like, I'm not an alien. I say these two guys, it really is Jesse Plemons' character. Teddy and Don are their names. Teddy's the leader, played by Jesse Plemons. It really is him hatching this plan. And his very loving, trusting cousin Don, who's being led by Teddy down this very dark road. Take notes on that. When people with the conviction of 1,000 suns are like, no, it's this, and I know that, doesn't mean they know shit. No doubt this movie was gonna feel like a fall release, not just because of the director speaking to the fact that this might very well be Oscar bait, but it was shot in a very unique aspect ratio. It's 1:50, I believe. When the movie comes on, I'm like, it's not 4:3, it's not 1:78, it's 1:50. I don't know, usually people go, hey, conventional release, it's widescreen as widescreen is, or we're going Wes Anderson, you can play this thing on a CRT television, it wouldn't even look weird. Oh, 1:50.
Yeah, I mean, the whole movie is shot, whether it's the colors or the angles or what you're actually seeing on screen or the dialogue or whatever. It's all to kind of keep you off base and to kind of keep you uncomfortable and to keep you feeling almost like you have an itch or something that you can't scratch, or almost like there's like a grating sound that you just can't stop hearing. It's kind of how the viewing experience is. Now, that's not to say that it's miserable. It's not to say that it's so off-putting. You're like, man, I can't even eat popcorn during this movie. But you never really feel at ease, which probably is okay for this kind of movie.
Acting in this movie is great. It's all top notch. I mean, Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, you know these two are professionals of their craft, and they're really good at what they do. Really good doesn't even cut it. They are, in fact, great. Jesse Plemons simply being in this movie as a conspiracy theorist who kidnaps this woman, you know exactly the vibe. This mental battle, this war between the two of them, because she's really good at her job. Just at the beginning, she has such CEO speak. She's very articulate. She knows the right things to say to reach people, but you're not sure she acts.
But even when she first gets kidnapped, her first attempt at freeing herself is with like CEO speak. You know, she talks, and Jesse does not like that. She says stuff like, paraphrasing here, but she's like, you know, let's touch base, let's have a dialogue, let's whatever, all this stuff that you would see in a corporate email, and Jesse hates that. Of course he does. He's not in that world, right? He works shipping boxes, so he's not. That doesn't work on him, even though it works on everyone else. You know, like. Let's have a dialogue. Let's circle back, like whatever, per my email.
Actually gives a shit. CEO speak that comes across as belittling at times.
Yeah.
So these two are just in a power struggle throughout this entire thing. And it's pretty damn entertaining to watch, I'll be honest with you. Because the movie is a thriller, no doubt, with comedic moments woven in that feel natural and organic enough to not compromise the thriller element. This one critic at the screening brought his wife, and she was like, yeah, it's a comedy, right? I was like, yes, yes, of course it's I mean, it's comedic at times, sure. It's also pretty intense at times. And
yeah, it's like, I think it is overall amusing, but it's like just when you think it's funny, or just when you think they're all pals, or just when you think, spoiler, they're not all pals, or just when you think it's okay, that's when they ramp up the extreme. That's when they ramp up either the violence or the intensity or the music score. Even at some points, the music is just like blasting. It's just like blowing your eardrums out. So it is this like really, there is a balance, I guess, throughout the movie of even like with Stavros's character, the cop, like sometimes the cop and Jesse's dialogue is kind of funny or off-putting or whatever, and then it just gets ratcheted up to 1,000,000, and then gets brought back down, then ratcheted back up.
I like that when a movie can give me a roller coaster. It's like, it's a thriller, it's kind of funny, it's shocking, makes the movie difficult to pigeonhole. When you watch movies week in, week out, that's refreshing. Movies like this are like people. I appreciate it when they take themselves and the situation seriously enough, but also kick their feet up and have a bit of fun. It just makes the film feel more human. There is
100%, especially towards the end. Like the end could have been, and I won't give it away, but the end could have taken itself very seriously. And this movie stayed true to what it was the whole time. You know, it was a fun, out of control roller coaster thrill ride. And at the very end, didn't give me a thesis. At the very end, it gave me the finish to a roller coaster out of control thrill ride. So I do appreciate that. And I think that's what made the movie so good. If the movie would have turned at any point and taken itself way too seriously, all of a sudden it's like, brother, I get it. I get the source material. I understand what, the concepts and all that we're talking about here. I understand the honeybee. I understand the corporation. I understand the CEO power struggle with the warehouse worker. I understand what's going on, but you also covered this lady in Benadryl cream and shaved her head in the first 5 minutes. Like we can't, this isn't, I don't need the end to be a TED Talk. I need the end to be the end to this kind of movie, and they nailed it.
I felt it was a weird, out-of-place child abuse side arc in here. I imagine the movie's trying to illustrate trauma leads to not trusting, leads to someone creating their own reality in their head, leads to conspiracy theories. But as it was going down, it just all felt really awkward and weird. I was like, I just feel like you could take this whole thing out, you'd still have the movie. And by
the scene, I think one scene that he's talking about is when Jesse's mom, she's like in a bathtub, or she has like acupuncture going on. That scene was the one time where I was like, what the hell was that? Well, I mean, I said that a lot, like, what the hell was that? But then it would pay itself off or whatever. That was the one scene where it's like, all right, this didn't have to be in there. This was pretty weird. This dialogue was kind of insane. What she said was kind of insane there. I'm not sure that really pushed everything that much further? I'm assuming that's what he was talking about.
The end of the movie, I still felt that way.
Yeah.
It never changed. Also, the musical score in this movie by Jerskin Fendrix is pretty amazing. I don't script my stuff out. I probably should a little more these days because I want to give more love to composers because the music in a film is just so important. A lot of times I skip over it. Sometimes that's because the musical score doesn't stand out. But other times I mean to, and I just forget to. That's my thing to work on. I am trying to work on it. The musical score sounds like the score from the movie Titus, you know, it's da da da, like everything just seems so grand, it feels so big. Or 300 for people who haven't seen Titus, because 300 sounds an awful lot like Titus. Looked into it a bit, I guess he didn't know too much about the movie. If he knew the movie was largely a basement interrogation, maybe he wouldn't have gone so hard. But the vague information he had, it sounds like a score that goes with an alien invasion movie.
Yeah, and that kind of also is what I was saying earlier about keeping you off base, is that you're watching this movie and you're watching this stuff and it's dirty and it's in a basement and there's like shag carpet and burgundy and mustard colors and, you know, she's covered in cream and they're eating spaghetti and weird coconut cake and then all of a sudden there's just like blasting, like super powerful, intense score. And it's like, man, what's even happening? This score does not seem to be. I mean, they're eating frozen coconut cake.
If you take the visuals in this film at face value, the musical score feels way too intense. But if you ask Jesse Plemons' character, hey, is this musical score too intense for the situation? He'd be like,
he's trying to save the Earth.
Intense.
Yeah.
It's the perfect score for this situation.
Right.
The Resistance making their last best stand against the alien invasion, this is the music for that. It coincides with how he sees the situation.
Yeah.
It's amazingly well done. But yeah, this movie's really enjoyable. It's dark, it's fun, it's funny, it's messed up, it's twisted. The movie's a slow burn, absolutely. Not gonna say it's not, but again, I felt there was payoff for it, so
it is, but it doesn't take too long. I mean, you're there. Like once they kidnap Emma Stone and once that all starts going, you're feeling pretty good. Like you're like, all right, I'm invested. I want to see how this plays out. I'm watching. Like it doesn't take too long to get to where it's going. It's not what, like, I thought that was good too, is that they layered the groundwork and then boom, we're in that basement.
It doesn't feel like
which is something I don't say often.
Boring movie. It doesn't feel like a slow movie. Slow burn. It's different. It's about 2 hours long. I was engaged the entire time.
Yeah,
it's the kind of unique, twisted take I like to see in a movie. It's a standout in 2025. I think this movie's worth watching and worth buying on DVD.
I think it's definitely worth watching. I would recommend it. I would say I don't know if it's like a best picture, greatest thing I've ever seen type of movie, which I think some people will say, but they say that about every movie. I mean, I think it like a 7.5 out of 10, 7.75, maybe an 8 at the highest. Like it's right there. It's definitely worth watching. I think it's one of those movies you probably watch once. I don't know if you watch it to go to sleep. Good God, I hope not. If you're watching this to go to sleep, I mean, talk to somebody.
VHS aspect ratio is close enough. It wouldn't even make it too weird. All right, so Bugonia, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite conspiracy theory? Never mind. No one here is going to be like, yeah, here's my favorite conspiracy theory with my username, government. Someone brought up the fact that the government shutdown happened right when 3i Atlas was close enough, but NASA can't release pictures because it can't take pictures. No government money. Coincidence. I was like, wait. Or what's a solid small-scale battle of wills psychological thriller? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, good movie. Good movie. Great twist. Great ending. Great structure. Like the whole thing, like you said, is engaging throughout. Didn't feel too long. I wasn't ready for this to wrap up. Anytime I thought I knew what was going on, I was proven incorrect. Overall, yeah, enjoyable. 2 really good performances. By Jesse Plemons' character, or by Jesse Plemons and by Emma Stone. Obviously carry the movie. There's only like 5 characters in the entire movie. It is very much a dark, twisted comedy with thriller vibes and will certainly keep you guessing the entire time. It's not scary. It's not overly suspenseful, overly thriller, overly dramatic. And it's not overly funny either, but somehow it's all of those things at once. So good stuff. I didn't mind it whatsoever. All right, there's my Bugonia movie review. Ladies and gentlemen, get on down in the comments below if you've seen it. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.